Don't answer if it says your name. My bodycam blinks red, rain ticking on the lens, and something up trail is breathing like it already ran out of woods. Dispatch cracks into my ear with a voice too calm to be night. 3 Charlie 21. Proceed to trail 19. Respond to possible fatality. Close the loop and lock the north gate. Do not engage if addressed directly. The park is a black lung around me. Cedar wet, clay slick, the creek louder than it should be. On my shoulder the mic tastes like pennies where I bit it, turning the volume higher. Gomez said it was a bear. Owen said it was a prank. The closure memo said hazard. Structural. I passed the sign that wasn't there at sunset. State seal half peeled. Letters stamped like a dare. Restricted trail. By order of. The last line is washed out, like rain refused to read it. The beam swings and the trail sign blinks past. Then my breath clouds the glass as if the camera is inside me. Gravel grits under boots that are mine until the footfalls behind me choose to agree. One behind my left, half beat late. One behind my right, learning the rhythm of me. Copy, I say. The word feels like a key you don't own. Something clicks its tongue once from the dark. Could be a branch, could be a deer, could be the space behind my head clearing its throat. The first mile marker is torn up, teeth marks like casual handwriting. The paint tastes like salt when I steady myself and realize my glove is off. When did that happen? When did my other hand start holding a length of orange flagging with the end tied to nothing? A flashlight glows ahead, swinging, then not swinging, then gone. The radio hisses and gives me my mother's voice. Not the words, just the little exhale she used between syllables when she was afraid to finish a sentence. Do not approach lights in motion, dispatch says on top of it. Static wraps the rule like floss. At the creek the fog is a stack of shelves. Under the top shelf water hisses. Under that, a corridor of breath moves against the current. Under that, something clicks in the rocks like glass teeth. I hear my own playback 1 second late, soft as apology. Don't answer, it whispers as if to me, from me. I angle the headlamp down and it glares off wet stone. There are prints where deer should be, too wide, toes splayed, nails scoring arcs like a child practicing half moons. They lead both directions at once, impossible as a cheap magic trick, one set going north, one set going south, and in the mud between them, a perfect imprint of a park-issued radio chest mic like mine, pressed hard like a Neil. Unit copy, comes a new voice, filtered low. You left a gate open. The sentence ends on my private tilt, the one only people who've listened for years can imitate. A twig presses into the shape of my boot and waits for me to pick a direction. Left takes me to the footbridge that groans like an old man trying not to be heard standing up. As I step, the deck boards flex in breath. Something moves under the slats, forcing water into little fountains that spit and go flat. The handrail is damp but warm, and the crude carving somebody bored in last week isn't what it was. It used to say S+M. Now it tries to say my last name. My shoulder camera fritzes on motion and then overexposes, flowers of white. The night is not that bright. My eye knows it. The iris ratchets down and I see a shape too tall at the cutoff, its head brushing the canopy while the shoulders pretend human. It leans forward like a listener at a joke, as if we're sharing a radio. 3 Charlie 21 Gomez crackles. If you're on 19, stop moving. Do you hear whistling? I don't. Then I do. 3 notes, cheap and sweet, the exact pitch of the ice cream truck that used to prowl our street at dusk. The sound leaks from under the bridge, then from behind me, then from inside the radio housing itself. I press the mic, but it moves under my thumb like a throat swallowing. Don't answer, I tell myself, but talking is a reflex the dark installed when I was a kid. Copy, negative whistling, I lie through my teeth. The whistling copies me, negative, 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 like a man learning yes by not saying it. On the far side of the bridge, the trail climbs into black sawgrass taller than me. Rain whispers down each blade, centuries of hands rubbing together. My beam snags a strip of ranger uniform, patch torn free, teeth marks again, or shears, or both. It's damp with something that isn't just rain, a smell of pennies and wet pennies. We closed this trail last fall, Owen said, because a landslide took out the ridge path. Past the first switchback, the ridge is right where it should be, stubborn and flat. The landslide never happened here. That's when I noticed the wooden crossbars strung between trees, fresh and bark buried, making a ladder to the canopy. Rags hang there like skin left out to dry. There are boot prints on the first rung, facing down. The radio coughs. Keep your light on your feet, dispatch says, voice crisp as pamphlet, and do not look up. I don't know if dispatch is human tonight. It moves again behind me and stops when I stop, refuses to be the first to speak. The headlamp throws rain sideways and, in the slant, I finally see why the prints look doubled. Something is walking inside mine, half beat late, learning how much I weigh. A body cam catches everything you let it. It also keeps what you never saw. My mic picks up a whisper I don't remember making. I knew we shouldn't have gone past the chain. The chain? It's behind me now, rattling where I stepped over it. A line of cold links sighing as if relaxed. I come to the overlook without knowing how many steps I bought to get here. The valley is a bowl of shadow and old smoke. In it, ranger trucks sit in a neat triangle as if arranged by a hand that turned the toys and smiled. Their light bars chase nothing on low power. A funeral procession for a ghost that isn't late. Gomez, I say, trying not to say his first name. Where are you? Silence condenses on the mic grill. The whistling moves into the air above me and drops, as if someone from a ladder exhaled down the straw of my neck. On the path cut through broom sedge, a camcorder sits on a tripod, rain shawling off, lens cap off, battery at 1 bar. It points into the grass at eye level as if waiting for someone short to step into focus. There's a yellow sticky stuck to the body. It says play in a hand that looks like mine after 12 hours. I do not touch it. I step around the camera as if it were a sleeping dog and the night loves me for the courtesy. The bodycam fights for focus as the grass opens to a small clearing. There's a circle of stones and rope. A deer rib tangled in the rope. A ranger hat hung on a stake, brim crushed in as though someone's hands couldn't help but press. There's also a man sitting perfectly still on the far side of the circle, back to me, head cocked to listen. His shirt is park green and rain-plastered. His shoulder patch is newer than ours. On the back of his neck, the hair is lifting in the breeze that does not exist. Gomez, I say, too soft, too late. The man's head turns a quarter inch, stops in a listening that belongs to the woods. He waits for a syllable like a mouse waits for a crumb. Do not engage if addressed directly, dispatch repeats. The voice has finally learned the way the word directly lands in my mouth. The man hums a note and my tongue shapes my name the way boar's roots. I bite it. He lifts a hand, palm up, like he's asking for a quiet coin. The fingers are too long until they remember. Unit, he says, not turning all the way, close the loop. Lock the north gate. His voice is two voices, one wearing the other like a wet shirt. I keep the beam on his shoulder and let the darkness keep his face. The stone circle breathes with the rain. Rope swelling, water stringing between knots. Someone laid salt once. The white sags into paste. Gomez, I say again, and bite down on the last sound until blood warms my tongue. The man hums that ice cream note and I feel my mouth loosen around the shape of me like a jar lid under hot water. The camcorder ticks. The little red LED mouths wreck like a warning and a dare. The sticky note shines. Play. I sweep the beam across it and the light catches clear tape I didn't see before. There's a page under the sticky, another note trapped there. Don't, it says. Then lower. If you do, don't answer it. Behind me, the chain rattles as if a truck had just rolled over it slow. I turn my head and the bodycam turns its world a half step slower. In the lag, I see myself already facing forward, and a shape behind me leaning in to smell what my name is worth. Dispatch, I say without the button, as if the air will carry it alone, confirm units on 19. The radio keys itself a millimeter under my hand. 3 Charlie 21. Comes a voice built from memo paper and throat. Confirm your identity. Say your full name for the log. The man on the far side of the circle nods at nothing as if taking notes. The brim of the hat on the stake draws a circle in dirty rain. One small grin. I crouch, put a glove back on with fingers I don't believe in, and edge left. The rope is too new to be old. The knots are Girl Scout clean. There's a smell of hot plastic where rain hits a cord that isn't rope at all. A coax line run into the brush and disguised. The trucks below answer a signal no one gives. Light bars tick-tick, then spin. Red and blue comb the trees like hands searching hair for burrs. In the flashes, the man's shadow floats as if caught on a second camera I can't see. In the offbeats, nothing throws a shadow at all and the mind throws one for mercy. The ladder of crossbars above me creaks. Something climbs slow and cheap like a puppet learning knees. Do not look up, dispatch repeats gently, and my neck wants to be a good dog. The camcorder clears its throat. This tiny speaker coughs me into the grass. I hear my voice as a future ghost. Don't answer if it says your name. Then, softer, the thing that followed anyway, copy. I reach and flip the lens cap over with my boot. Plastic clicks, a lid on a mouth. The man stands smoothly, as if some arrangement concluded. His hands stay at his sides like a mannequin asked to kneel. When he turns, the face is a fair copy of a worker from 2 summers back, the one who left a note on my truck that just said wait in block letters. The copy smiles that same wrong kindness. You shouldn't be here alone, he says, and it is my mother's last voicemail laid over his lips, pulled like skin on a drum. Come on. Close the loop. He steps, toe to rope. The rope swells between us like a line in water behind a moving boat. He waits for me to make it nothing. Owen. I breathe on the mic, and his name comes out like a question you never ask twice. The radio gives me Owen's laugh doubled under mine, then stops just shy of the part where Owen could be alive if the mountain had bent differently. My boot finds the orange flagging tight around my ankle. It hums, faint like a line under tension. I follow it up with the beam. It runs back down the trail through grass and shadow, up one of the crossbars, into the dark canopy, where something hauls hand over hand with my slack. I cut it with the knife without thinking. The line whips the cut end away like a snake deciding to hate the hand that freed it. Above me, something loses a rung and hugs the trunk hard, wood cracking in gratitude. The man's head tilts, bird true. He hums again, 3 notes, and somewhere under the bridge the creek breathes back on the same pitch. The trucks below move a foot on their own tires all at once, as if the hill leaned. The Bodycam shivers and tries to white out. The auto gain hunts. In the shimmer I see other rangers in other rain, the frame stacking times like glass panes. One wears my jacket before I did. One holds the same orange line going the other way. One stands where I stand and looks up. His mouth opens. He ends small. I don't look up. The first drop hits the back of my neck like chewed ice. The second falls in the cup of my ear and speaks my middle name with a grit of bark. Don't. I tell it, and my teeth put their backs into the word. You've been observed, dispatch says like reading a color. Do not allow crossing. Do not cross yourself. I back toward the ridge without breaking the rope circle, heel over toe, mud thinking about forgetting my weight. The man mirrors me perfect with a beat of space that doesn't obey distance. The hat-top stake nods yes, yes, yes. At the edge of the clearing the whistling stops. Stops like a door closing on the wrong floor. The silence behind it is not empty. It is packed with listening. Mijo, someone says in the voice from the box where I keep him safe. The bee-sting panic of wanting to be 6 years old again climbs my ribs and demands I open my hands and give my name to anyone who can hold it. Instead I raise the beam to chest height and draw a line across the brush. Eyes wait there that are not eyes, coins glued to a wooden mask. The mouth is paint until it isn't. The paint widens the way a smile widens when it recognizes opportunity. I throw the light right, and the world catches on something with a wet rope sound. The trucks below finally turn their bars to full and every bare trunk writes its name in red and blue down the slope. You can see the north gate from here, a dark mouth with chain teeth. Close it, the man says with my voice set to helpful. Then, softly, as if a microphone were new to him, say it for the log. No, I tell him, I am not a log. He breathes my laugh as if he paid for it and wants his coin's worth. Behind him, beyond him, someone else gets a word wrong and someone else fixes it with their own. The Bodycam records my pulse as a judder in the frame. It records the rain. It records the part where the radio was a throat and the chain learned a song. It records nothing that would stand up in a room full of fluorescent kindness and paper. I turn, step into the trail, and move. The prints inside my prints catch up in half a second and become mine again. Delighted. Branches not high enough for anything bigger than a raccoon bow and hold. The chain behind gives one last patient clink. At the footbridge, the boards flex like lungs. Something under me paces with me, toe to heel to toe, warming to the rhythm. Halfway across, my radio clicks. Alex, says a voice I did not give it. Then it tries my last name with the old dent in the vowel, the one we dropped years ago to make it easier to get hired. The boards huff. The creak pulls. I don't answer. I count steps. 9 to the center. 9 to the gravel. I do not give it the gift of 10. On the far bank, the fog is lower. It rides my shoulders like a wet coat and whispers into the seam of my jacket. It repeats my name with the patience of rain naming stone. The trail marker is back, whole, bright paint wet as a newborn. The numbers on it are right until I notice they are not. 19 is a 13 turned to new purpose. My headlights find the north gate before my eyes do. They are on. My truck is where I did not leave it, idling friendly, wipers doing the easy work. The gate yawns, chain draped, lock open. Past it, the park road is a dark throat toward a county that is sleeping with its windows cracked. Close the loop, the radio says in my mother's voice, then mine, then another one that will be mine when I'm too tired to know I gave it away. I hook the chain. I run the lock. I take my hand away and the lock turns half a degree as if thinking. Behind me in the trees, the whistling does not return. The listening does. The camcorder is in my truck where it wasn't. The sticky note says play differently now, harder. The lens stares at my Bodycam lens. For a second they drink each other. Isit. I don't close the door. I press play because I am the kind of animal that puts its hand in a dark box to learn if its teeth in there. On screen, my trail, my light, my breath. Then me, a fraction forward, turning to look up. My mouth rounds the vowel of my name and the tape eats the sound and feeds it back warmer. In the black at the end someone says a different name, one that isn't mine, and the glass in the dash vibrates as if it recognized the shape of a house it will someday fit. If you are watching this, I say on the tape, rain pinning words to my teeth, do not answer if it says your name. Do not teach the trail your shape. Do not let the glass be a door. In the real cab, the radio freezes and spits, then lets a breath go. The voice that comes is new at first. Then it wears something of you. It asks you, gentle, for the log.